Hilary, looking at the market today, a bit of a negative day for the GSE composite.
Exactly, that has been the situation. That has been the situation for some time now, and we continue to see market declines as the year ends. Currently, we have the composite index making a year-to-date loss of about 2.75%, and the financial index making about 12.94%. So clearly, you realize that most the banking stocks are actually suffering in these times.
What are the problems here? Is it because world markets are in turmoil? Is it because the bourse has done so well that investors are profit-taking ahead of the Christmas holidays?
Yes, that's definitely it. But you also have a situation whereby about 70 to 80% of your market is mostly foreign activity. So whereby you have troubles on the foreign front, then it's definitely going to affect it, and people are trying to profit take and sell out, and that's what is happening to most of these stocks. And most of them have a lot of liquidity in the banking stocks. So
right.
that's what's accounting for the downtrend.
Let's talk about what we've seen the GSC able to achieve in 2011. It's fared a lot better than most other exchanges, but what have the returns been like? How attractive has this market been?
On the whole, you have the banking stocks suffering a lot. Most of them have gone below about 30, have declined about 30%, between 20 to 30%, with GCB losing about 30% and Cowbank 22%. But on the whole, in terms of consumer and distribution stocks such as Total Ghana and Produce Buying, Total has actually made about 98% year-to-date gain, while Produce Buying has also made just a similar margin, about 92%. But you have mostly the banking stocks and mining stocks actually suffering there.
What's lifted this bourse was the listing of Tullow Oil. It boosted the capitalization of the market, but subsequent to that, it hasn't really led to a lot more liquidity. How do you explain that phenomenon?
Well, there are two things that I would say in this way. One, from the retail perspective, they realize that the unit price is a little bit high for them. It's trading around 31 cedis. That's about $15, and that's quite expensive for the retail. So they are not able to trade, and they hold most of it besides Net, who doesn't trade. And then you have a situation whereby most of the foreign guys have these stocks, so they are not able to take the arbitrage position is not that interesting for them to take any positions in that, and that is actually causing the liquidity issues in the stock.
All right. Now, in general, there are calls for Ghana to introduce new listings, for Ghana to come up with new products. And we know that there were rules that were set aside this year or introduced around exchange-traded funds. So we should see some excitement. But what sort of momentum or what sort of things are going to give momentum to the Ghana exchange next year?
You rightly said the ETF should actually solve some of the liquidity problems. But what I'm foreseeing is that probably for the first year or two, since there's a new thing that is actually coming to Ghana, I don't foresee a lot of people rushing to buy some. But I think as and when they get to understand how it works, then it should provide a lot of excitement going forward. But immediate impact, I doubt a little bit. But I think going forward, it should be the way out to provide a lot of liquidity. And we also expect the new pensions that is supposed to be full running to come up and to also improve the excitement on the exchange.
There's also calls, Hilary, for an alternative index for smaller companies because most Ghanaian companies are small and medium enterprises. What sort of work is being done in that area?
They are trying to put up, the regulators are trying to put up a regulation for that so that it will make them more attractive. Look at how they come in, the capital in which they can, the minimum capital within which they can come in with, and how attractive they are and the kind of profits or that they expect these companies to come up with. So they are being drafted by the regulatory bodies to see how this can be done.
All right.
So it's still work in progress.
trends for 2012, we got news today that the regulator has approved the merger of the Trust Bank with EcoBank. That lifted that stock. Is EcoBank a company to look out for in 2012?
Yeah, in a sense, but I don't see the immediate impact yet because we expect a lot from EcoBank, but it hasn't actually delivered. ETI has actually lost a lot of capital gains. I mean, it has made a lot of capital loss during its listing, and so people have actually a lot of doubts in it. So it's a good news generally, but I'm not foreseeing the impact on the stock almost immediately.
I mean, you did say that the stocks that were battered were the financial stocks, but we saw a lot of positive traction on the distribution side, on consumer goods. So companies that might excite the buyer in 2012?
Yeah, I mean, now, the banking stocks are having an average PE of about 7. They are getting attractive. So, I mean, yes, in 2012, I think most of them will be trading lower and should be attractive for more investors. So, yes, financial stocks should be one key area they should be looking out for, as well as their food and trading, distribution and trading.